I almost unlocked the door. My hand was already on the handle when I saw the note taped just below the peephole. "Don't go inside. Come to my house first. I have something you need to see." I read it twice, then a third time. My neighbor Carol had lived next door for 18 years. She wasn't dramatic. She didn't leave notes like that. If something was wrong, she would have just knocked. But this was different. I stepped back slowly, keys still in my hand. The house looked normal. Curtains half drawn. Porch light still on, even though it was past noon. I shouldn't have noticed that, but I did. I stood there longer than I want to admit, trying to make sense of it. Then, I turned. Carol's front door was already open, like she'd been waiting for me. She didn't smile when she saw me. That's when my chest tightened. "Come in," she said, quiet, serious. No small talk. I walked inside, and she locked the door behind me. That part stuck with me. "I'm Dana Mercer," I said later when I tried to explain all of this. But in that moment, I didn't feel like myself at all. I just followed her into the living room like a guest who didn't belong. Her TV was on pause. Security footage. My house. I frowned. "Why are you just watching?" I asked. "Play it," she said. The timestamp showed earlier that morning, right after I left for the doctor. At first, nothing happened. Then my front door opened, and someone walked in. I leaned closer, because the person didn't look like a stranger. That's when my stomach dropped. Carol paused the video before I could see their face clearly. She didn't speak right away. She just watched me. I kept staring at the frozen screen. The figure stood halfway inside my house, blurry, familiar. That was the problem. It didn't feel random. "Play it," I said. Carol shook her head once. "Not yet." Something didn't sit right with me. My heart was beating faster than it should have been. I'd only been gone an hour, maybe less. "I don't understand," I said. "Why do you even have this?" Carol glanced at the window, like she was checking something outside. "I installed cameras last month after a break-in 2 streets over. They face my driveway and part of yours." That made sense. Still didn't explain the look on her face. I sat down slowly. "My husband's at work," I said, more to myself than to her. "No one else has a key." The moment I said it, something felt wrong. I shouldn't have been that sure. Carol finally picked up the remote again, but she didn't hit play. "Before I show you the rest, I need you to tell me something honestly," she said. I looked at her. "Has anything felt off lately? Even small things?" I hesitated. At first, I wanted to say no. Keep it simple, normal. But then, small things started lining up in my head. Missing mail. Lights on when I knew I'd turned them off. A cabinet left slightly open. I had ignored all of it. "I thought it was just me," I said quietly. Carol nodded, like she expected that. Then she pressed play. The person stepped fully inside my house this time. And this time, they closed the door behind them like they belonged there. The video kept playing. I leaned forward without realizing it. The person moved through my hallway slowly, not rushed, not nervous, like they knew exactly where everything was. That's what made my skin crawl. They didn't turn on the lights. They didn't hesitate. They walked straight toward the kitchen. Carol didn't say a word. She just let it run. I watched as the figure opened drawers, not randomly, specific ones. The same drawers I used every day. Utensils, bills, the small box where I kept spare keys and old receipts. I felt something tighten in my chest. "That's not a break-in," I said quietly. Carol shook her head. "No." The person stopped near the counter, stood there for a second, then reached into their pocket and pulled something out. A key. My stomach dropped again. They didn't need to break anything. They already had access. I sat back slowly, trying to keep my voice steady. "Zoom in," I said. Carol hesitated for just a second, then did it. The image sharpened just enough. I couldn't see the face clearly, but I saw the hand, the ring, a plain silver band with a small scratch on the side. I knew that ring. I had seen it every day for years. Something felt off the moment I recognized it, but I didn't say it out loud. "Not yet." "Play it," I said. Carol didn't hesitate this time. The video moved again. The person walked deeper into my house, past the kitchen, straight toward the bedroom. My bedroom. My chest tightened. He didn't check anything else, didn't look around, just walked in like it was routine. That's when I said it. Evan. It came out low, flat, like I was just confirming a fact, not reacting to it. Carol didn't say anything. She didn't need to. I kept watching. Evan stepped into the bedroom and closed the door behind him. The hallway camera couldn't see inside, but the timestamp kept moving. 5 minutes, 10, 15. He stayed in there like he had a reason. When he finally came back out, something was different. He was holding something. A small folder. My folder. The one I kept hidden under the second drawer. Documents, personal stuff, things I never showed anyone. My stomach turned. He didn't rush, didn't panic. He walked back through the house, unlocked the door from the inside, and left just like that, like nothing happened. Carol paused the video again. I didn't sit this time. I just stood there staring at the screen because it wasn't just that he came in. It was what he took. And suddenly everything I thought I understood about my life felt misplaced. I didn't go home right away. That was the first decision I made on purpose. Instead, I sat at Carol's kitchen table and tried to slow everything down in my head. Reacting fast wouldn't help me. I knew that much. What was in the folder? Carol asked. Financial records? I said. Old ones, some newer things. Insurance papers. Property details. I stopped there, because one thing stood out the house. My name was the only one on it. Evan knew that. I looked at the pause screen again. He hadn't searched. He went straight for it. That meant this wasn't random. He knew exactly what he was looking for. Something felt off. I need to go back, I said. Carol shook her head. Not like this. She was right. So, I did something simple. I called Evan. He picked up on the second ring. Hey, he said. Casual. How was the doctor? Normal voice. No hesitation. Fine, I said. I'm heading home now. Okay, he replied. I'll be late tonight. Work ran over. Of course it did, I said, ending the call and setting the phone down slowly. He's not coming back yet, I said. Carol nodded. That gave me time, enough to check things carefully, not just the bedroom, everything. But I wasn't going to confront him. Not yet. If he thought I didn't know, he'd stay comfortable. And comfortable people make mistakes. I stood up, grabbed my keys again, and looked at Carol. Let's see what else he thought I'd never notice. I unlocked my front door this time. Slowly. Nothing looked out of place at first. Same quiet house, same smell, same light coming through the curtains, but I wasn't seeing it the same way anymore. Carol stayed a step behind me. She didn't touch anything. I went straight to the bedroom. The drawer was slightly open, just a fraction. I hadn't left it like that. I pulled it out and checked underneath. The folder was gone, exactly like the video showed. I didn't panic. I just nodded once, like I was confirming something I already knew. Check the rest, Carol said quietly. So, I did. Closet, bathroom, kitchen. Small things stood out now, things I would have ignored before. A stack of mail shifted out of order. A receipt missing from the counter. And then I saw it. The office door closed. I almost always left it open. Something fell off again. I pushed it open slowly. Everything looked normal until I walked to the desk. The bottom drawer was locked. I never locked it. Ever. I stepped back and looked at it for a long second. Then, I grabbed the spare key from the kitchen. When I opened it, my hand stayed steady. Inside was a small black device, a recorder still on, a red light blinking. I didn't touch it right away. Carol stepped closer. Is that yours? She asked. I shook my head. No, it wasn't. Which meant one thing. Evan hadn't just taken something from me. He had been leaving something behind. And suddenly, this wasn't just about documents anymore. I didn't turn the recorder off. That was the second decision I made on purpose. Instead, I closed the drawer halfway and left it exactly how I found it. If Evan thought I hadn't seen it, he'd keep using it. And that gave me leverage. Carol watched me quietly. What are you thinking? She asked. I'm not guessing anymore, I said. I'm proving it. I took out my phone and called someone I hadn't spoken to in years. A lawyer. His name was Mark Feldman. Straightforward, careful. The kind of man who didn't act without evidence. He listened, didn't interrupt. When I finished, he said one thing. Don't confront him. Document everything. That's exactly what I planned to do. That evening, I went through the house, like nothing had changed. I cooked, cleaned, sat on the couch. I even turned on the TV for background noise. All normal, because I knew he was listening. Around 8:30, I made a call on speaker, loud enough for that recorder to catch every word. "I spoke to the bank today," I said casually. "They confirmed the transfer went through. The house is scheduled to be reviewed next week." That part wasn't fully true. Not yet. But it would be. I hung up and sat there quietly. If Evan had taken those documents for a reason, this would push him. Force him to act faster. Make a mistake. And mistakes, when recorded, don't disappear. Later that night, my phone buzzed with a message from Evan. "I think we need to talk." I stared at it for a second, because now he wasn't as calm as he sounded earlier. And that meant the trap was already working. I didn't answer his message right away. I let it sit, then replied simple and calm. "Sure, tomorrow." He responded within seconds. "No, tonight." That told me everything I needed to know. When he got home, I was sitting in the living room like any other night, TV on, lights low, nothing out of place. He walked in slower than usual, studied me. "You okay?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "Why wouldn't I be?" He didn't answer that. Instead, he stepped closer, like he was trying to read something off my face. "I went by the house earlier," he said. "Had to grab something." I nodded. "I know," I said. That was the moment. A small pause, not even 2 seconds, but it was enough. His eyes shifted just slightly. That was his mistake. "I found something too," I said. I reached over, picked up my phone and hit play. The audio filled the room. His voice, clear from the recorder, talking to someone else earlier that day. "Once I get those documents, I can move everything before she notices." He went still, didn't even try to deny it. I set the phone down gently. "I've already spoken to a lawyer," I said. "And the bank? No anger, no raised voice. Just facts. You won't be touching anything else that belongs to me." He didn't argue, didn't apologize. He just stood there, realizing it was over. And for the first time in years, I felt completely certain. Not about him, about me. The silence between us was heavy, but I didn't flinch. I wasn't nervous anymore. Everything had led to this moment. The evidence, the recording, the confrontation. Evan stood there, his face slowly draining of any pretense of calm. He opened his mouth, but nothing came out. For the first time, the man who had been so sure of himself, who had thought he could control everything, was at a loss. He was trying to process the reality that everything he had done, every move he'd made, was now exposed. I didn't give him the satisfaction of speaking first. I knew what I had to do. And more importantly, I knew what I couldn't let him do. The house was still. Too still. His eyes darted around the room, searching for something, anything to hold on to. But there was no escape this time. I had everything. The ring, the folder, the recorder, the footage, and now I had leverage. "I never thought you'd be capable of this," I said softly, letting the words hang in the air like a sharp blade. "All these years I trusted you. I thought we were building something together." My voice shook, but only slightly. I didn't let him see how much it hurt. Evan didn't respond. He couldn't. He knew the game was up. I watched him for a moment, his eyes narrowing as if he might still try to bluff his way out of it, but I wasn't buying it. Not anymore. "You're going to leave," I said. "You're going to pack your things. And you're going to leave. And you're never coming back." It wasn't a request. It wasn't even a suggestion. It was a demand. For a moment, he hesitated, as though considering whether he could fight back, whether he could convince me that he was still in control. But the longer he stood there, the clearer it became. He knew he had no chance. The silence stretched, and I held my ground. Finally, he sighed long and defeated. "What do you want me to do, Dana?" His voice was smaller now, quieter, as if he had finally accepted the truth of the situation. "Don't play dumb with me," I replied, my tone hardening. "You know exactly what you've done. Don't make this worse." He opened his mouth again but closed it without speaking. Then, without a word, he turned, his shoulders slumping as he made his way to the door. Every step he took, every movement he made, seemed heavier than the last. I could almost hear the weight of his failure dragging him down. The door clicked shut behind him with a finality that echoed through the room. It was done. I stood there for a moment, letting the silence settle around me. It was the kind of silence that felt empty, but not painful. A silence that came with clarity. He was gone. He was never coming back. And for the first time in years, I could breathe freely again. I walked back to the kitchen table, picking up my phone. The weight of the situation hadn't fully hit me until now. I had done it. I had taken control of my life again, something I hadn't realized I was missing until it was already gone. I dialed Mark Feldman's number. It rang only once before he picked up. "You were right," I said, my voice steady but still feeling the shock of the events. "It's over." "I knew it would be," Mark said. "But you did it the right way. The clean way." "I had to," I replied. I couldn't let him get away with it. Not anymore. There was a pause on the other end of the line. I could hear him taking a breath. "I'm proud of you, Dana," he said. "You handled this with more strength than most people ever could." I didn't respond. I didn't need to. His words, though comforting, were not what I needed right now. What I needed was space to think, to figure out what came next. But for the first time in years, I didn't feel lost. I knew exactly what I had to do, and that was enough.